Nailed it. All right. Ham Squad versus DeFuerte. Yes, indeed. The pickle tickler is definitely worth the Craigasms. Well said, Kurt. Well said. All right, so here we are into Cursed Hollow. Gonna be our map for this one. First pick, first ban, going over to DeFuerte, your away team here. It's a map where you really expect to see a lot of globals. Split pressure is really a premium here. One thing you always want to account for is the casting of these tributes, which can be a really good idea for going for ranged poke damage. Zagara gonna be the instant ban out here from DeFuerte. Very interesting first ban. Not normally a hero that you expect to be picked up in the first rotation, but leaves a lot of different options open for their first pick. Genji, somebody you would consider banning here, who's got good ranged poke and good rotation ability. Ariel actually going to be the ban out here, though, for Ham Squad. So Greymane going to be the instant pickup here for DeFuerte. So yeah, again, a really good hero here. He does have good ranged poke, good ability to interrupt on the tributes. Dahaka and Uther are going to be picked up. Again, two very strong meta picks. Dahaka with that global, being able to side soak, able to brush stalk into the many different bushes here onto Cursed Hollow to try and interrupt and disrupt those tribute turn-ins, flank, and get strong engages. Uther, of course, one of, if not the strongest healer, and a good denial pick here for Ham Squad. Uther is really something you'd like to be able to pair with that Greymane. So now DeFuerte doesn't have the option of picking up Ariel, one of the strongest sustained healers in the game. They don't have the option for Uther anymore, so now they'll have to look at some of the lesser supports in the meta right now as their main support. They don't have to necessarily pick it up here. It will give the opportunity of Ham Squad. We'll give the opportunity over to Ham Squad to further apply that healer chokehold. So they are going to go ahead and try to dodge that and grab the Rhaegar and a Nubarak to start here. Two pretty strong picks. It gives them good dive potential. So right now, you know, they are looking at the option to be able to really dive and hard engage. A Nubarak always good at facilitating that in these team fights. And Vala gonna be the ban out here for the side of Ham Squad, not wanting to see Vala as the follow-up ranged damage. Personally, I'm a little bit more afraid of Li Ming if I'm over on the side of Ham Squad. I feel like the resets could be really strong with the Greymane. Ban out coming out here from DeFuerte. Got a lot of options still on the table for Ham Squad. They have not... One of the things I like about the early Dahaka and Uther pickup, they haven't really revealed anything of what they want to do here. They still have every option available in the world. So, could be a lot of different things that they could end up doing. with these next two picks. They could go dive heavy. They could go really poke heavy with the Uther. Normally Uther likes to engage though. He likes the encounters to be relatively short. They are going to go with the Malthael ban. I really like that ban. He's very, very good on this map, but they are leaving open the Genji. I think Genji might have been a slightly better ban here. If I'm Ham Squad, I think that's probably my pickup. He's good at being able to get to the back line, putting a lot of pressure on the Rhaegar. Because the main thing you want to do against a Rhaegar is be able to get to him, focus him down, and kill him before that Ancestral can come out. So I feel like Genji Uther is probably the right pickup here if the side of Ham Squad has an Uther player. They are definitely sitting on this one, though, thinking about it long and hard. They do end up getting the Johanna, who's also incredibly good at interrupting these tributes. And the bad guy coming out, Zul'jin, going to be the pickup for the sustained damage from Ham Squad. Very interesting. Genji is overrated. Uh-oh. Somebody's listening in. That's not good. But yeah, the delay not powerful enough here. But Cho'Gall coming out for the side of DeFuerte. Very interesting. The Ancestral does have the capability to be very, very strong. Onto the Cho'Gall, probably one of the most impactful Ancestral targets in the game. Plus, you look at the counters that are available, that are left for the side of Ham Squad. Malthael, one of the best counters, is gone. Anubarak and Greymane are on the other side, so no Cursed Bullet, no Web Wrap. And so it's just going to be the Tassadar as they try and stick to their guns and try and focus on the Zul'jin, but chaos is coming here for Ham Squad. DeFuerte with a very, very nice late-game Cho'Gall pickup, and I just don't know if Ham Squad's got the tools to be able to really handle it here. One thing I will say about the Cho'Gall is he's not great at being able to rotate on big maps. He's not great for the side soak potential. So right now, Ham Squad does have the opportunity to really be able to own the the rotation game. If that's the direction they want to go, if that's the route they want to take, I feel like they do have the opportunity to use their global, use that Dahaka to be able to dominate in the soak game early and try and get a lead to try and catch that advantage for later team fights. But let's see how this one turns out here. We do have both teams loaded in here onto Cursed Hollow. On the left, your blue team, it is going to be Ham Squad. It's going to be Shadow Kid. Going to be playing the Uther. Silverclaw on the Johanna. Tassadar going to be played by Jarnix. Dad still back in the Nexus here. Going to be coming out there on the Zul'jin, and Ragnarok going to be rotating to the bottom here on the Dahaka. Meanwhile, on the right, DeFuerte back again on the stream here in game number 3. Rock Modern Life going to be playing the Anubarak. Coffee on the Greymane. It's going to be chopped on the Rhaegar. Just to get the names out here, we got TT Porky on the Cho, Lightened on the Gaul. It is going to be TT Pinned 1 on the Cho Gaul here. So we do have the 3-man rotation to the bot here. Cho Gaul plus Rhaegar equals Ow My Fort in the bottom lane. 3-man rotation in the top. It's going to be the 2 healers with the Zul'jin, which equals Ow My Fort in the top lane. Both teams, interestingly enough, well, the Haka, Ragnarok going to go down in the bottom lane, but interestingly, both teams prioritizing the non-boss lane here. So, I mean, I suppose it's really valuable if they end up stealing the other team's boss at some point throughout this one, but definite advantage going over here to DeFuerte early. Cho Gaul, definitely one of the best siege damage dealers. Specifically Gaul, one of the best siege damage dealers in the game. You get a very, very early fort here. Zul'jin actually ends up going down in the top lane, however. Coffee taking the 1v3 and taking the Zul'jin out. Oh my goodness. Advantages all over the board here for the side of DeFuerte as Ham Squad. They lose the bottom fort. They lose a pick in the top. 3-0 so far. They do get a little bit off the front wall in the top here, but I don't think that's really enough to offset the level and a half lead that's been gained so far here by DeFuerte. Shadowclaw and Rock Modern Life having maybe the most boring laning phase in the game. No offense to these two tanks. I mean, they're both trying very hard, but at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. There's nothing we can really do about it. Silverclaw should have a little bit of an advantage there with the wave clear, but both teams identically picking up the camps on both sides. Solid macro play, picking up those sieges in each lane. Slight advantage going to end up going to Ham Squad. All right, yeah, well, I should say Ham Squad, mostly because...
Gather tribute and earn my favor.
Excuse me. I really didn't want to sneeze into all your guys' ears, though, but it's going to be going right onto the fort in the top. However, RNGesus favoring DeFuerte, spawning this tribute in the top, which is going to give them an opportunity to both contest the tribute here and clear in that top lane shortly after. Rock Modern Life, though, getting poked down real low. Dad doing all he can, trying to go ahead and get the damage out onto these guys. Definite sustained advantage going over to the side of Ham Squad. But, however, the turn is real. Took down Johanna to start out this one. The camp has been properly cleared here in the top. Dahaka actually staying in the bot to clear the bottom lane. And that's going to be the first tribute of the game going over to DeFuerte. They have evened out the level lead to about 1 here, with leaving Dahaka in the bottom to soak. It's an interesting call. I wouldn't necessarily say a bad one. But I think also, though, if you do end up leaving Dahaka in the bot and you know you got that disadvantage, you can't hard engage as far as Ham Squad did. On the other hand, their name is Ham Squad, so I don't know exactly what I'm expecting from these guys. In the top lane, 3v3 going on here. Dad getting kind of low here, though. Does have the double support to bring him back up, but mainly what he's low on here is mana. Zul'jin doesn't really care about that so much, though. He's mostly all about those auto attacks. But with that 3-man push here from the Cho Gaul and Rhaegar, they are able to get most of this top wall. Level 8 almost achieved here. And again, the XP getting a little bit closer as we go here. Ham Squad overall with a nice recovery so far. Cho Gaul, tip end 1. Going to go ahead and grab their bruiser camp. So starting to win the macro game a little bit here is the side of DeFuerte. However, Ham Squad going to go ahead and finish off that front wall in the top lane. We have the rotation coming in here from DeFuerte. They are looking to grab their second tribute of the game. Meanwhile, Ragnarok still in the bottom lane. Still not really interested in coming up just yet. To see if that changes. Level 8 for both of these teams, but level 9 right around the corner for Ham Squad. So this next one, depending on how long and dragged out this ends up being, Probably going to be the last opportunity for Ham Squad before level 10. Rock Modern Life getting very, very low here. Ragnarok coming in with the flank, and Greymane will be the first to fall. Jarnix getting very low in the back here. Right, and Gall doing what he can to try and poke it out. Shadowy Kid going to go ahead and start the cast. But Cho'Gall's got something to say about that. But it's not a time. Rock Modern Life even missing just a little bit on the timing on the burrow charge, and all of a sudden he's in abject horror. He's going to end up going down here, and that's going to be a 2-for-0 exchange for the side of Ham Squad. Even out the XP against DeFuerte, they lose a little bit in the mid here because of this this camp. They also got the bottom stacking up here, so Coffee will go ahead and rotate in very nicely and grab this, but that's a huge win for Ham Squad. They were behind in level. They're kind of struggling on a lot of the map macro in the early game against this Cho'Gall, but now they even out the tributes, so they don't got to worry about Curse Point this next time around. They're going to hit level 10 actually a little bit before DeFuerte, and now they got tribute coming up with pretty much even kilter here. Nice recovery. Nice recovery by these guys. We do see 3-man rotation to grab that camp. They grab it a little bit later than the side of Ham Squad. Ragnarok, however, just barely going to be able to get out of that one. It's going to be incredibly low on HP, though, so going to have to grab his race car speed, go back and tap the well. Oh, we do see the camp pushing in the top lane. It's going to be a good advantage here for Ham Squad. It's going to be very nice for them. Coffee trying to cast this. Let's actually get the cast off. Silverclaw trying to come in to block it, but they're going to turn around. They're going to take out Tassadar. They hit the cursed bullet onto Silverclaw. He's also in a lot of trouble. Cho'Gall's not going to let him go anywhere. He's going to end up falling eventually. DeHaka racing his way back up to the top lane. Not even bothering to burrow. He's just using his race car speed just to get up there. Boss being stolen here in the bottom lane by the side of DeFuerte. They had a very, very nice team fight here over this bottom tribute. They get themselves a 2-3 tribute advantage. And, oh, the RNG gods this game. They sure do love DeFuerte, don't they? Gotta get the boss. Tribute's gonna spawn right behind him. All 5 members are up here, though, for the side of Ham Squad. Let's see if they want to do anything about this. DeHaka goes back. He's going to go ahead and brush stock in, but he's not going to be quite on time. And that's going to be the first curse of the game, going over to DeFuerte. Paired up very nicely with this boss that's rolling around in the bot lane. Oh, Ragnarok's got to be careful here. He's going to try to use that race car speed. Vroom, vroom goes the DeHaka. And he is going to go ahead and escape through the brush there. However, full 5-man commitment coming in as Jarnix is going to end up getting DC'd here. That is the Tassadar. I'm going to go ahead and cut away here while these guys get this cleaned up. Scary moment here, though. If you're Ham Squad, you gotta be careful on this one. Curse is out, still has quite a bit of time left, and this full man collapse. This couldn't have been a worse time for somebody to DC. Tassadar, that's gonna be a rough unpause, but we'll see how it all turns out for him. That was a very impressive series of events there. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, very good series of events there for the side of DeFuerte. Really impressed with, it's been kind of back and forth. They kind of dominated the early game in those first couple levels. They got a little bit of a lead. Ham Squad comes back and has a really good series in the top. But then, that next minute or two there where those 2 tributes came out, they were able to steal the boss. They got a lot going there. So that was a really nice turnaround for them. Apparently the internet has pooped. All right. But he's relogging, so we got him logging back in. Sounds like. Sounds like we're going to be okay with this one team. It's all going to be okay. Cho'Gall balanced, by the way. All right. How else could we ride this treasure goblin? Yeah, that does seem kind of broken, actually. The Cho'Gall riding around on the treasure goblin. How does that work exactly? I don't know if I quite understand. Just the physics seems a little bit off. So let's try and figure out this puzzle a little bit here. Bracketology with these tournaments can always be a little bit confusing. It's again, if I'm using the tournament operations manager program, all I say is, I don't know, Tom will figure it out. Because it does all the calculations, it automatically does all of the tiebreakers, and it makes everything come out really pretty. But when I'm doing it by hand, I have to hand do all the tiebreakers. So looking at Christian Lee Mingle as like the first example, they are 2-1 because they got that bye. The only win they have is against Ham Squad, and they lost to DeFuerte. So say for instance DeFuerte wins this match and Ham Squad loses, then DeFuerte is 2-1 and Christian Lee Mingle is also 2-1, but Christian Lee Mingle's opponents are Ham Squad and DeFuerte, and so the only team that they beat was Ham Squad, who ended up 1-2 in the tournament. Ham Squad's only win being in a bye. So the like Christian Lee Mingle versus DeFuerte, who played all 3 rounds, would have beaten both Ham Squad and 2+2. So like in that case, in the tiebreaker, due to opponent's win record, and then they never went head to head, but just their matchups of how everything went, there's DeFuerte by default winning the tiebreaker. 2+2 and Pickle Ticklers also playing in our other match right now. Pickle Ticklers, one of the later tiebreakers in the tournament system is if you were not at the beginning of the tournament. If you got is late is one of those tiebreakers. So is what it's labeled. So it is a factor, but it's not the biggest factor in the tiebreakers. But if 2+2 wins, then their only loss is to DeFuerte. That means they would have beaten Christian Lee Mingle and Pickle Ticklers, who are 1-2 and 2-1. And so they because 2+2 beat Christian Lee Mingle, they would win off the head-to-head. That would be the tiebreaker. So I mean that's just a little bit of an explanation on how the tiebreakers work. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to explain it from this part out. But just trying to figure out the puzzle there is part of why I love just using the tournament program, because it just does all that for you, which is really nice. And it doesn't take as long to organize the tournament. Oh. And instantly, Zul'jin coming down out of the unpause. Darning's also in a ton of trouble. I didn't realize I was the ref. So we do have Dahaka pushing in the top. He's going to be able to get a fort in that top lane, but the keep goes down in the bot lane here. The side of DeFuerte actually looking to end. They are going in. The hammer going to displace Uther. He's going to end up going down. The boss is pushing in here, and DeFuerte might be looking to come out of this pause with a victory, and it looks like they're going to be able to finish it off right here. Coffee gets the Ancestral, and that is going to be it. The core falls. DeFuerte picking up the big win coming right out of that pause. Well, that escalated quickly, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so that is definitely going to secure DeFuerte in our finals matchup here. Well, like I said, that was quick. And we're back. Well, it took a moment to finish off that one. Like I said, it was a very scary moment for the side of Ham Squad. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, they were under siege there. You know, there's a little bit of a misfortune moment for, you know, for the Tassadar player, because he DC'd, his character got displaced. I totally get that. That sucks, but that's part of it. You know, if your equipment fails, then that's not unfair. It's just a bummer, you know. But Ham Squad, you know, just was in a really bad spot there. They had the curse, the boss pushing in the bot, and just a heavy siege squad over on the side of DeFuerte. So that's just kind of how those things go. That could have been a finish no matter whether there had been a pause there or not. No way to know for sure.